Fishing in New England, it's pretty special. From lazy Vermont trout streams to surf-pounded Cape Cod beaches, marshline Connecticut tidal creeks to deep water Maine lakes, inshore, offshore, freshwater and salt, few places compete. This is incredible action. And the species, stripers, tuna, fluke, salmon, trout, pike, even mahi and marlin. New England's got them all. I'm Tom Richardson. Join me as we explore New England's great fishing destinations, chase its many species, and forge new fishing adventures on New England Fishing.
New England Fishing is brought to you by the GMC Sierra Denali. This is precision. This is GMC. We are professional grade. Also brought to you by Garmin. We'll take you there. Pursuit Boats. Explore a life in a pursuit. Your New England Yamaha outboard dealer. Reliability starts here. Bosun's Marine. We share your passion. And the Goose Hummock. Serving the New England outdoorsman since 1946.
Mention fishing in Cape Cod in the same sentence, and most anglers envision casting plugs for striped bass in the outer Cape surf, chasing false albacore in Nantucket Sound, or trolling for bluefin tuna on Stellwagen Bank. However, the Cape has a sweetwater side that's often overlooked, and it can be found in the numerous kettle ponds that dot its interior. A big fan of the kettle pond scene is Chris Nashville of the Goose Hummock Shops. While Chris fishes the salt a good deal of the time, he relies on the ponds when the ocean conditions just aren't cooperating. Nice of them to put these granite steps in here for us, Chris.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nice safe entry here.
Yeah, very convenient. Is there another access point to this pond?
This is one of the only access points to this pond, but there are a few little paths you can go down as well, but with these kayaks it's a little easier just going right down the stairs here.
What's in these ponds exactly? All kinds of fish, from sunnies to pickerel. But the main targets of Chris's forays are largemouth bass, many of which top 5 pounds. I met Chris at Slough Pond in Brewster, which offers kayak access from the small launching area at its western end. So this is Slough Pond?
Slough Pond.
Slough Pond. Okay. And it's a kettle pond, right?
Correct.
Which means it was carved or left by glaciers.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's deep, right?
It is fairly deep down in the middle. The sides, there's a bit of a flat right out there. All in here, it's pretty shallow in here. A lot of weeds right in this area. So coming up summertime, it's a lot of cover, which is a good thing for all the bass and the pickerel in here.
Mm-hmm. And so explain, like, early in the season, like, what's the movement of the fish?
Well, they're going to be getting ready for spawn. At this time, they're just off the spawn, but they'll be coming in. They'll make their beds, and you'll actually be able to see them walking around, basically to my left here and off to the right, and you'll see all these little tiny beds, and they'll be on them. Then once post-spawn occurs, which is now.
So so early June, post-spawn.
Correct.
Mid-May to late May is the spawning period.
Right, and then every pond's a bit different. If you went to Walker's Pond just down the way, their spawn would be maybe a week or two off.
Why is that?
Just the size of the pond, how quick the water turns over from the winter time.
So it's a water temperature thing, probably.
Right, and all those things, they all play in, all these little factors. But you take a walk here, 5 minutes, not even down the road, walkers. You could be catching fish right on beds, and here they could be off the beds.
So there's a ton of these ponds all over the Cape, right?
Oh, there's hundreds.
Right.
Hundreds of little ponds like this, and some of them, rarely get fished. Even in the wintertime when there's a little bit of ice fishing, they don't really get fished. A lot of guys do really well when there is ice here anyway.
I guess that's because so many people just associate Cape Cod with saltwater fishing, right?
Exactly.
So they're all focused on salt, but you got this great fishery right inland, and it's really accessible. You got do it from kayaks, wading, you know.
Yep, and a lot of the ponds as well. You can take a little trolling motor or a small motor, 3 to 5 horsepower, depending on the pond, and it's great fishing. I mean, year round in these ponds. People forget about it.
Yeah. Even during the middle of summer too, right?
Oh, exactly. You get out of work and you can't make the tide going saltwater fishing, so you go freshwater and throw some jitterbugs or some topwater, and have a ball.
That's great. Well, I can't wait to start fishing it.
Yeah, no, let's get to it.
Let's do it. Bigger than mine.
Yeah, it's got a nice little belly on her. Oh, and you can actually see there's some bait in there too.
A bait in there?
Yep.
Pursuit, built to a higher standard. Many try to replicate. Pursuit continues to innovate with cutting-edge features and top-notch technology. Offshore, center console, dual console, sport coupe, and the sport tender. We have boats from 23 to 38 feet, and once you own one, you will feel the difference. We know you have a choice, and you can put your trust in us to deliver a vessel that will take you where you want to go. Visit your factory-authorized dealer today and experience the passion we have built into each and every one of our boats. Visit PursuitBoats.com and explore, experience, enjoy your life in Pursuit.
Come visit Goose Hummock, our year-round store in Orleans on the Cape. We have an extensive range of equipment in stock for freshwater, inshore, offshore, or fly fishing. Our fanatical fishing staff will happily assist you in choosing the setup that best meets your needs. Our shooting sports department offers a selection of firearms and ammunition in all calibers. We offer firearms safety classes and archery equipment as well. We also offer kayaking or stand-up paddling with a wide range of boats, boards, and other accessories. We also offer lessons and tours from June to October, right off our dock on Town Cove, Orleans.
So how big do the fish get in this pond?
I've caught fish up to 7 pounds in this pond, so there's some big fish in here. A lot of 2, 3, 4 pounders in here.
Right. Now, why do you think that is?
Well, there's herring in here. There's American eels.
So that little opening, that little creek, all the herring come up through that thing?
Exactly. That 2, 3 foot wide little creek, that's what they come up through.
It's incredible.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I mean, those fish are, 12 inches long, 10, 12 inches long.
About that, 8, 12 inches for sure.
So they find their way all the way up from Cape Cod Bay.
Yep.
Through that series of ponds that you were telling me about?
Yep, comes through Paynes Creek, and then it comes through the mill ponds, Upper Mill, Lower Mill, down to Walker's Pond, and then their final destination being here at Slough.
And then they breed in here, and then they leave here, the adults leave here, go back to the ocean, and then in the fall, the young of the year herring, they find their way back.
Come back, do it all again.
Every year.
The mysteries of the wild.
It is pretty cool.
Chris and I slowly picked our way around the edges of Slough Pond, casting along the edges of weed beds, lily pads, and other structure. The fish weren't huge, but the action was consistent.
Well, I finally got one. I got one to stay on, at least for the time being. Hey, there we go. All right. Nice. Cape Cod largemouth. They get bigger in here though, right? Some for your Senko worm though.
Not for that or my leader.
Or your leader. What are you using for a leader?
I have Yozuri fluorocarbon on here. It's 10 pound. Not too heavy, but heavy enough when you get one of these guys, you got a chance of getting your hook back. Yeah. If you can keep them calm. And we're definitely gonna have to retie them.
Tell us about some of the lures we're going to use today.
All right, so we're gonna be using some rubber baits today. These here, Gary Yamamoto's. Also, there's a bunch of other companies out there. We have our own at Goose Hummock, the Goose Hummock Pro Series. Same worm. We're going to be using a little Gamakatsu wide gap finesse hook, which is perfect for what we're going to be doing. It's going to be wacky rigging, it's called. And how we're going to do that, this style here, just go right through the bait, right in the middle of the bait. And that's it. It's a very simple way to rig a bait. You cast it out, these flutter all the way down. You wait till it gets down and you work that really slow and kind of just irritates the fish with the two ends wiggling there. Another way to rig it, we have the twist lock hook here, which for weedless applications, we may be throwing into some weeds. So we're going to use that, which all you do is actually twist.
It's got a little, like a little spring type thing coming off the eye of the hook.
Yep, owner makes these, and these are a sweet one here. And you can actually see on this bait, it has the hook hider there.
With a little slit there.
With a little slit in the worm, and that's where you actually want to put that. That's going to keep it weedless for you.
Oh, so it just tucks right in there.
So it tucks right in, and then when that fish hits, that's going to come right off, and you're going to hook that fish.
Awesome.
Also, Gamakatsu makes a weedless finesse hook, and that is rig it the same way as we had here.
And that's for wacky worms.
Yep, for wacky rigging here. Yep, and then that's your weedless application there, so you can throw that into the weeds. This is a little more open water, you know, not so weedy, docks, things like that.
Right. Nice.
Go for a little sleigh ride here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they are a little bit deeper than yesterday, but they're here.
That's a little bit bigger than mine.
Yeah, it's got a nice little belly on her. Oh, and you can actually see there's some bait in there too.
A bait in there?
Yep. Probably 2-3 pounds.
I got one. Oh, it bit me off. I think I got a pickerel. Just took my bait. All right, here you go, bud. If you fish in very cold water, such as early in the season or late into the fall, or pretty much anywhere north of Boston, it's important to play it safe in case you capsize. Obviously, wear a life jacket to keep you afloat in case you fall in. It doesn't take long for hypothermia to set in once you enter water 65 degrees or less, and a PFD will buy you some extra time if you become incapacitated. Use a sit-on-top kayak, which is easier to climb aboard than a sit-in kayak and does not pose the risk of swamping. Consider investing in a dry suit, which will keep you dry and comfortable in case the weather gets ugly or if you accidentally capsize. Insulated waterproof gloves are also important to maintain the use of your fingers in cold conditions. Pack a sound signaling device such as a whistle or air horn to summon help, or better yet, a personal locator beacon, and keep it on your body. A strobe light is another good idea, as it can help rescuers find you in the dark. Keep an anchor on board so you won't drift off to sea if you lose or break your paddle, or other means of propulsion. Last but not least, let someone know where you plan to fish and when you plan to return, either by filing a detailed float plan or leaving a simple note on the dash of your vehicle.
Shivers running up and down my spine. Got me crazy, feeling mighty fine. When I scream, I want to shout. You may ask me what's it all about.
Catch a memory you'll never release.
I got one.
Show us your first catch. Learn more at takemefishing.org.
He's beautiful.
The kettle ponds were formed some 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age. As the Laurentide ice sheet retreated from what is now Cape Cod, it calved massive chunks of ice that were eventually covered by sand and rocks carried in the glacial outwash. As the ice melted, it left depressions in the sandy soil that filled with runoff and water supplied by subterranean springs. The kettle ponds were born.
Some good structure on the side over here.
Yeah,
too.
so you like this shoreline? This is a good, like during the summer when it gets hot?
During the summertime, you throw frogs, any topwater, jitterbugs, things like that, and you do really well in here. Those bass are just hiding throughout all these weeds, and they'll come up and eat.
Because it's just a cooler and shadier zone right here?
Exactly. I mean, you can see we're fishing. It's in the morning here. We're covered from the sun here. So, I mean, it's a lot cooler, especially summertime. Definitely want to, tweak your hours of fishing in the summertime, though, for the early morning, the nighttime when that sun gets away a bit.
Yeah. So dusk, dawn, those times will perform or yield better results during the hotter months. Right?
Exactly.
And so night fishing must be pretty good.
It is. You go out at night and you put your headlamp on, and you'd be amazed at what you catch and how many you catch. You know, throwing, like I said, jitterbugs, anything to move some water on the top, and they come up, and it's like topwater bass, striped bass fishing. It's just as good. Light rod, Sure.
Yeah. And how about like in the center of the pond? I mean, is that worth fishing with deeper lures or baits or anything like that?
It definitely is. You can use jigs with like a Gary Yamamoto creature, things like that. Especially again during the summer months, that cooler water's down there, and the fish will tend to move down that way. So vertical jigging, almost a drop shot method as well, will work.
Mm-hmm. How about shiners, live shiners?
Oh, shiners work everywhere. Yeah. You put a shiner in, and you're almost guaranteed to fish in here. Got another one.
That one hit the pumpkin seed colored one. Boy, I think we found a whole school of them over here. We're hooking up every time almost every cast. All right, here you go, bud. See you later.
Beachy, sandy area up here. Let's hop out and do a little wade fishing. What do you say?
All right, I like it. So when you're sight fishing for these things earlier in the year, you can actually watch them pick up your lure, right?
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool to watch them do that. There's one.
What if your truck was like two trucks, one designed for everyday driving and one built to handle the demands of trailering a boat? Well, thanks to the tow haul mode on the GMC Sierra Denali, it's like getting 2 trucks in one. Tow haul mode helps you take full advantage of the Sierra Denali's powerful engine. Activated by a button on the shift lever, tow haul modifies the shift mapping of the truck's standard 6-speed transmission. The result is higher shift points for more power under acceleration and earlier downshifts to promote engine braking, thereby reducing wear on the vehicle's brakes. In addition, tow haul mode activates the Denali's tow haul mode grade braking that assists in maintaining desired vehicle speeds when driving on downhill grades by using the engine and transmission to slow the vehicle. Auto grade braking not only slows the vehicle more efficiently, it can reduce brake rotor temperatures during a braking event. Tow haul mode, just one more clever feature on the GMC Sierra Denali designed to make trailering easier so you can have more fun on the water.
When you're moving a big offshore boat, it's all about thrust and trust. For thrust, nothing compares to the Yamaha purpose-built 5.3-liter V8 Power Pioneer. And for trust, Yamaha's new F350C model becomes the only outboard in its horsepower class to feature a 5-year limited warranty. Never settle for less than complete confidence and control in the open water. That's Yamaha V8 Power. Get the best and forget the rest.
That didn't take long, Chris.
Not at all, first cast.
First cast.
Can't beat that.
Sweet.
Another quality fish.
Yeah. That's all right. He's got one. Got another one?
Got another one. See if we can keep this one on.
Boy, I'll tell you, this pond is filthy with them. But you know, all these kettle ponds on the Cape, they all fish pretty similarly.
A lot of them do. Oh, we got a little pickerel here.
Ooh. Oh, quick
release again.
Quick release. Is there a guide to the different ponds of the Cape? You know, how could somebody, you know, find good put-in spots for?
Actually, if you go to the Mass Fishing website, you'll actually find a good bunch of information. There'll be pond maps with depths and all that, and actually what's in them. Largemouth, smallmouth. It'll actually tell you from all the scientific research that they've done down here. Man, these fish are getting aggressive over here, huh?
You picked a good spot to wade. Tell us about the gear we're using today for this largemouth bass fishing.
So today we got the Shimano Stratix. This is an older Stratic 3000 FI. The one that I have is the 2500 CI4, which is the newer model, a little bit lighter weight than the older Stratic, but still just as good. Great reels, freshwater. 2500 and 3000 is the size you want to use. Mm-hmm. And then for the rods today, we have the St. Croix Triumph, and we also have the St. Croix Mojo Bass. Both of these under 7 feet. You can use 7 foot and under for a kayak is probably the best. You do want to be able to reach up and go right around the bow if you do need to. But these rods are great. I mean, they're SC3 construction, and both of these are the same construction.
Right, that's graphite,
The
right?
graphite,
yep, so nice and sensitive and nice and light.
Exactly, mm-hmm. And you pair that with the Power Pro 8 and 10 pound braid, and I mean you can't beat that setup.
Excellent, great. No, they're nice and light, nice and they cast these Senko worms a mile too.
Yeah, these are the medium light versions, and you know, they can handle the big bass, but you need it really to get those rubber worms weightless out where you need to get them.
Mm-hmm. And it's real like the graphite we said is really sensitive, so you can feel that bass like inhaling that bait and then set the hook.
Exactly.
Given the size of Slough Pond, Chris and I were able to circumnavigate its perimeter in a few hours. As someone who had never fished the Cape Ponds before, it was an eye-opening experience. And next season, I may just focus more of my attention on these fine kettles of fish.
Well, Chris, we completed our circumnavigation of Slough Pond, and it didn't disappoint. Really great fishing here.
Yeah, usually doesn't disappoint, and you know, we got some fish, lost some fish, but
Yeah, part of the game, but yeah, we did catch a lot of largemouth, and the great thing is this type of fishing can be enjoyed at, you know, virtually any of the small ponds around Cape Cod, right?
absolutely. Wade fishing on Cape Cod is very underrated. You don't need a kayak, you don't need a boat. Just get a rod, some lures, and go walk around the ponds.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a sleeper fishery, but you got world-class smallmouth and largemouth bass fishing in these freshwater pond areas, and like you said, very accessible.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, thanks a lot, Chris Nashville, for taking me out and showing me this great world.
Anytime, Tom.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on another action-packed episode of New England Fishing. To learn more about fishing in this great part of the world, be sure to check out newenglandfishing.com, where you can access loads of articles, recipes, videos, gear and boat reviews, and much more. And don't forget to order your copy of New England Fishing Magazine, a big, bold, glossy publication packed with articles that'll help you catch more and bigger fish all year long. Until next time, I'm Tom Richardson for New England Fishing. Thanks for watching.